Okay, Mr. Mas, thank you for this opportunity. How is CHATA and its members experiencing the economic growth and, together with that, the economic situation of the island?
Correct. Well, I think the tourism industry is seeing a growth, and unfortunately, the whole economy of the island isn't growing as fast as the tourism industry is doing. But thank God for the tourism industry, we are seeing some positive movement in the general growth of the island. The tourism industry is playing a vital role, currently accounting for about 30% of the foreign exchange, and which is much more than in the past. So there you see the responsibility now the tourism industry has to make sure that there is a new perspective and new hope for the future for the island of Curacao.
So do you think that tourism will, in one day, in the future, carry the Curacao economy, do you think?
I think the tourism industry of Curacao has the potential. It has the potential to be the main economic driver of the island. Hence, that's why our focus as well to make sure that we continue to work on all areas that are needed to make sure that we're growing sustainable. So if we want it to be the main economic driver, we need to really invest not only in new hotels, but also in our infrastructure, also in our educational system to make sure that we develop more and more local talents to join the tourism industry. But in general, the tourism industry, as you have mentioned, we are seeing a growth. We are seeing more arrivals coming in. If we're talking specifically on the hotel sector, yes, and we've seen a growth in occupancy since 2018 completely, and also the first 3 months of 2019. We are seeing a growth. On average, we have an average occupancy this year of about 82%, which is very, very high compared to the previous years. And as well, what we're really focusing on is the ADR, the price per room per night. There we have seen an ADR of 2018 of 162, and this year for the first 2 months we're almost reaching the $200 mark, which is a very nice ADR to have as a destination, especially for Curacao, which for many years we haven't seen a higher ADR. So we are seeing some benefits and some fruits of the hard work that was done in the previous years, but also the demand. I think prices go up whenever there is demand, and there was a nice flow of demand for the destination in the past 12 to 18 months.
How was the Easter break weekend for the CHATA members?
Well, the Easter break weekend was very positive. Yes, we have seen traditionally, as usual, the hotels are had in higher occupancy throughout the weekend. The only thing this year, what we have seen is that a lot of bookings came in last minute. So 2 weeks ago, if we have asked the same question, we will still about 70% occupied. But for the last few days, we have seen an increase in occupancy, which basically held our occupancy between 80 and 85% on average for the weekend, and which is also which we are very happy for. Okay.
What about one of the hotels that we're really waiting for or hoping to get some information on is the Marriott Hotel. Can you tell us what the progress is? Are we going to open soon? Do we see? And if it really is going to have an impact on the tourism sector on the island?
Well, yes, the Marriott property is an important player for the island of Curacao, especially in our vision of the tourism master plan, which states that we need to focus on the U.S. market and also continue to maintain the current market share, but also grow from the U.S. market. And here we see that the Marriott will play a vital role into really attracting the U.S. traveler. The Marriott is scheduled to open in mid-September 2019. Everything is up and running. We've already met the management team on island, who are already busy with not only on the staffing side, but really the execution side of opening a new property. So there we are knowing and we're seeing that all hands are on deck to make sure that we meet the deadline of mid-September to open up the new property, but also with a new and improved product. For many years we have known the Marriott with an outdated product, and now we see with the new team on board, the new investor on board, the whole property is being renovated and really almost from scratch being reintroduced into the market. So what we expect by the end of this year is a new 5-star property with an amazing service, but also with amazing facilities to offer, which will help our vision into opening up the U.S. market for the island of Curacao.
But next to that, we see that the hotel next door, Hilton, is disappearing here on the island. Can you also give us some information about that?
The transition now, the ownership of, let's say, the Hilton building, Curacao has decided to continue on with a different business model. The new business model for this property will be all-inclusive. As you may know, the Hilton does not operate on the all-inclusive scene, so the owners has opted to change from an EP hotel to an all-inclusive segment, which means that they will be now upgrading the property to meet an all-inclusive standard. And the great thing about this is that even though that we're now losing a brand by the end of May, and internationally known brands such as Hilton, the good thing is that within a short period of time, the ownership will also announce a new takeover of the property, which will be then an all-inclusive brand. And this, the name of the new all-inclusive brand will be shared by the ownership soon once the contracts are signed. But this also will be very beneficial for the tourism industry of Curacao, where we also said many years ago that we need that all-inclusive component to continue to grow the island. The Marriott is an EP property, European plan, which is very good to have. We have Corendon, and now also with the Hilton being transformed into all-inclusive property. This will also help the destination in reaching the goals as stipulated in the vision of the tourism master plan.
Okay, thank you very much.